Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today I thought I'd speak about something that might be seen as a little bit controversial. Okay. And if you listen to the likes of Dan Wootton or people like him on his side of the media stream, okay, I wouldn't say it's mainstream now, okay, is would Nigel Farage make a good Prime Minister? Because Dan Wootton thinks he's going to be the next Prime Minister. So I thought I'd speak about it. Would he make, though, a good Prime Minister? Because if you look over the last 30, 40 years, there haven't really been that many that have been good Prime Ministers. Okay, Margaret Thatcher. I'll give you Tony Blair. He was a good Prime Minister, yet he made his mistakes when it came to the Iraq War. But apart from that, I can give him an A. And then you're clutching at straws. Okay, could you actually say any of the rest? Maybe John Major. He had his problems. He had quite a bit of sleaze. Any of the rest? You're looking at giving them C's and D's. Probably give Keir Starmer a G, and that's being me being nice at the moment. So I thought, let's take a look at this. Could he be a good Prime Minister? And the reality is, and this is where I go from it. So obviously, he's been in the political bubble for quite a while. You know, as a guy that's technically really conservative, you know, was within UKIP for a long time. Got his problems at the moment, as far as I'm aware, for everything that went on in the Brexit Party. Okay. And obviously he's created reform. Now, this is where I am on it. So when I look at his strengths, what's he actually good at? As long as he's only got one real thing that he's going to talk about, you know, at the moment, immigration, what it's been for 20 years, 30 years, however long. Okay. And he'll talk about the farmers. And that is about it. Doesn't really talk about anything else. Okay. He's very good at getting people on board. A bit like the likes of Tommy Robinson. I'm not saying he's anything like Tommy Robinson, because he's not anything like Tommy Robinson. But like Tommy Robinson, who's very good at showing his belief and getting people to follow him. Nigel Farage is absolutely fantastic at doing that, just like Tommy Robinson is. And you can think of, and there's lots of other politicians. Donald Trump, another classic one, extremely good at that. And you could go through the history books, but I won't do that because I'll probably get myself in trouble about talking about other well-known politicians that have been good at that. Okay. But what isn't he good at? And this is the thing. If you take a look at the Rupert Lowe thing, okay, this is a classic example of what he's not good at. He's not good at man management. Because the thing is, if you're going to become a Prime Minister, you need to be able to run a team, and a big team at the end of the day. Okay, he's only got, well, now he's got four MPs. Did have 5 MPs. And if you can't run 4 or 5 MPs, you've got a fundamental problem. Because if you're going to be Prime Minister, you're looking at 200 plus. 200 egos in the room, all fighting against each other, and you've got to be able to control it. You can't go to the press and go and bash every single one of them every day, like he's doing at the moment for Rupert Lowe. Now, I'm not saying, and I'm not about to say, but Nigel Farage is wrong for when it comes to Rupert Lowe. Okay? He might have a point. He might not have a point. You know, I haven't exactly got a high regard for Rupert Lowe, for somebody who comes from Southampton and then being the former Southampton chairman and knowing how badly he ran it. Okay, he can come back and argue that as much as he likes. Okay, but facts are the facts at the end of the day. And I know plenty of people that have known him and say he did do a pretty lousy job at Southampton. But it is what it is at the end of the day. So, is there an argument that he could do a good job? I don't think so. I think if he became Prime Minister, he would struggle. And there's also an argument, the same argument that gets put about Keir Starmer, that he would be wanting to get out of it. Is he the best person to become the next Prime Minister? Maybe. Maybe there's a point. But there's been, if you look at David Cameron, I'd never even heard of him. Not really. Before he became leader of the Conservatives. And there's lots of these people. There's lots of people, even in the Labour Party, that have the potential to be a better leader than Keir Starmer and be a Prime Minister. There's lots of them. I don't think Nigel Farage is going to bring about any revolution. He's not shown anything revolutionary about him. All I see in Nigel Farage is somebody who really is going to run a party a bit like the Lib Dems or the Greens, a fringe party at the end of the day, as long as he's in power. At Reform, maybe if they change it to somebody else, they might have a better chance. But otherwise, no. Not for me. And I know that it's going to be controversial, and I know there's going to be lots of people up and down the country who think Nigel Farage is the answer to our prayers. He isn't. He's establishment. He's proven that over the years. Whether you want to admit to that or not, you can be as delusional as you like. Nigel Farage is as establishment as you can get. The classic example is how he turns on what he says. And the classic one is when I was actually watching Dan Wootton, when he was talking about Nigel Farage promising that he was going to do this investigation into the abuse up in around the country, child abuse. And now he's refusing to do it. And obviously you've got Rupert Lowe going forward, raising the money to obviously do it. And I'm sorry to say it, Nigel Farage is just a typical politician at the end of the day. If it's in his interest, he'd do it. If it's not, no chance. And that's no different to whether you're Conservative, whether you're Labour, or if you're a Reform MP at the end of the day. There's no difference. So let us know what you think. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again a bit later.